Hi, and welcome back to the DePause channel. It's Darlene here, where we talk about service dogs, emotional support animals, and disability. I wanted to take the time with this video just to lay out some of the topics that we might be exploring in the videos ahead. Actually talking about service dogs. And what is a service dog? Defining and talking about and what is an emotional support animal. And then people with disabilities and how that topic is connected to emotional support animals and service dogs. Because the topic of disability is so big, we could spend forever talking about it. But I want to talk about disability as it connects to the service animal population. The other thing I'd like to talk about on the channel is the laws that surround service dogs and emotional support animals, such as the ADA, state laws, the Fair Housing Act, the Air Carrier Act, and such laws like that, reasonable accommodations, and maybe policies, that kind of thing. The other thing I'd like to do, let's explore equipment that's used for our service dogs and emotional support animals. Where do we get it? How do we get it? Where's a good place to get it? We may start out with some type of gear, but then have to graduate to another type of gear, like my service dog did when I was training her. I started out with some basic kind of gear, and then she graduated to more sophisticated kind of gear. Your needs may change. She may need, or he, your dog, she or he, may need certain types of gear for certain types of tasks and other types of gear for other types of tasks. Let's talk about skill sets. What do the dogs need to know for different types of service dogs? Now, when I had my girls professionally trained, I brought them home and taught them even more skill sets than what the schools taught them. And then my current dog, as I mentioned before, since I'm multiply disabled, is a multifunction service dog. So we can talk about those skill sets for what she does. The other thing we could talk about, breeds. What breeds make good service dogs? And it's important to know the breed you're getting. And know the psychology behind the breed. The dynamics, such as the physics behind the breed. Oh, I need a certain dog to pull my manual wheelchair. Well, that may determine what kind of breed of dog you get to be a service dog. Oh, I need a dog for stability. Well, that may determine another type of breed. Versus, I need a dog to do seizure alert work or other types of alert work. That may require different breeds of dog. What kind of breeds of dogs do the schools use? Well, I can tell you what's typically most common, but if you train on your own, and you train your own service dog, which is applicable by the laws, which we'll talk about eventually. My girl, for instance, is a lab pointer mix, and for my needs, that suits me just well. But I interviewed 20 dogs before I got to her to find the right dog. So it's not a quick, simple choosing to find the right service dog, which is another topic we can talk about. Finding the right service dog if you want to train yourself a service dog. It's not an easy task. We could talk about training your own versus going to a school or some combination thereof. In my case, for what my needs are right now, I could not find a school to meet my needs. But what my needs were in the past, I could find a school to meet my needs and then just add on to those skill sets that the schools taught the dogs. This time, it was me, myself, and I teaching the dog. So, other things we could talk about, maybe food, treats, snacks. We can engage in a conversation that way. What else could we talk about? We could talk about the fake websites. How about those fake websites? Oh, pay me so much. I'll hand you a piece of paper that says your dog's a service dog or an emotional support animal. But the reality is, a piece of paper doesn't make a service dog. What makes a service dog is the skill sets that help a person to help their disability. Not just simply, here's a piece of paper. So, if you put in the time to train a dog, you'll be amply rewarded many times over. Now, there are a couple websites that do help you train your dog that will give you a piece of paper, a certificate that says the dog is trained, that will help you should you get into some issues with the dog with some legal assistance. And we can discuss those websites. And like I said, should you decide to train your own, there are different places to get gear from, like I did. And we can talk about that in a future date, and I'll give you those websites in the description where I got my gear when that topic arises. But these are some of the topics I'd like to cover with you on the channel. And I just wanted to give you a heads up of what we'd be discussing on our journey together. So I look forward to having discussions with all of you and to passing the information to you and answering any of your questions, and soon to have a different email as I'm building the channel as a better way for you folks to get a hold of me that is more reflective of the channel, that is geared to the channel email. So for right now, just use that one if you need to get a hold of me, but do look eventually for me to put up a different email in the future. Okay? For now, if there's a topic maybe I didn't cover right now that you feel we need to discuss, prompted maybe by a question you have, I don't want to get into a lot of dog training because I think there is enough out there, enough people doing dog training. I want to be the educational component. I want you to understand the difference between a service dog and an ESA. I want you to understand the law. I want you to understand what it is and what it means to have a service dog, and what a life-changing event it is, just like having a baby. They're with you pretty much 24/7, and when they can't be, you have to find a sitter. Just like with a baby, you'd have to find a babysitter. This is a dog sitter, and you have to teach that person what to do for your service dog, because they're just not a pet. It's not ordinary, especially in my dog's case. So these are all topics that will come out of our discussions, like that one just now as I'm talking to you. And I look forward to our conversations and your questions. And I hope we have a good time together and enjoy our journey together. And I'll see you next time. Take care. Have a great day.